give us the high level on Jump. I kind of have a good idea for what it is, but let's explain it to the audience, because I do want to get into the idea of tokens as a way of building someone's credibility. I think that's a really good use case for Web3.
Yeah, totally. The simple way is to describe it is Jump is a network of marketers who are interested in getting into Web3. We're not an agency. You can think of Jump as more of like a large organization who helps guide marketers through the space in a similar way that in early Web 2, there were lots of organizations that popped up to help marketers navigate new technology across social media, across display ad networks, like all of those things that were discussed throughout Web 2. There were organizing bodies that helped guide marketers through it, provided, best in class thinking on how to use it. But one thing that we're doing that's a little different than that is we're putting it into practice. So Jump is a way that you actually join this Web3 community for marketers, and you learn by doing. You are actually putting it into practice as soon as you join the community. And, hopefully minting your first NFT with us is sort of a goal with us, because we have Sky Club membership passes, which unlock a whole other aspect of our community, and we'll do more even down the road. So we've created there's a newsletter that comes out every week written by Jeff Kaufman, who is an old friend of mine who in 2013 told me I was crazy for investing in Bitcoin. But then in 2020, he called me and was like, "Hey, I'm getting into Web3. I'm curious about this." And I was like, "Tell me more. Tell me where your head's at and let me help you build it." And so that's how Jump was born. He went through Seed Club, got a ton of learnings. I always use the analogy that it was like when he was going through Seed Club, it was like having an older brother who was the first to go to college and like calling him and getting updates and saying like, "What'd you learn? What'd you learn this week?" Yeah. And so we're really proud about the way that Jump has grown. We did it in a very, very surgical way, though. It wasn't just an open invitation. Jeff has personally interviewed everyone who's come through Jump's doors. So there's a personal connection there. The onboarding flow was kind of the first of its kind to do it that way. And because of that, we've got a incredible network of people, which is the real reason why we did it, that are interested in Web3, involved in what we're doing, helping run weekly events. We have a creative team, we have a creative director, all of these people who have just stepped up and said, "I want to help to build this."
That's awesome. So just to kind of press on that a little bit, one of the, I guess, criticisms of Web3 and NFTs and all of that is, while it does provide an incentive for you to act in a certain way and to promote the brand in a certain way, it's mostly financial, right?
Yeah.
And so what you get is like anybody who is speculating jumps in, right? And they may not actually contribute, right? They're just waiting for other people to do. But the shift that has happened as a result of this massive bear market has been curated communities. And when you tell me that every single person is actually interviewed, is there a financial cost associated with joining Jump?
There's not to join, but to mint a Sky Club, it's 0.05 ETH.
So negligible in
right.
a sense, right?
Right.
But just to show people what a transaction is like, and I'm sure that funds something. Maybe it's your tech costs, who knows? But either way, if you're going through the interview process, even if there is, we'll call it a 0.5 ETH, right? Like even if you changed it to that, right? It's about bringing people into the community that are actually going to contribute in a meaningful way. And by going through that interview process, it shows they're taking it seriously.
Exactly.
Yeah. So
that's exactly right.
So when you say people can come in there, it sounds like the mission really is to like bridge that gap between Web 2 marketing and Web 3 marketing. Is that
absolutely
fair?
Absolutely. These are all marketing professionals who have an existing career in marketing and are making the transition into thinking about how does this impact their strategies moving forward. But we also have, founders, more Web3 experienced people who are also a part of it to help balance out the conversation. and people have started to connect in ways that like we didn't really intend, like, you know, started to do there's an in search of channel where people are looking for resources in the community. We've partnered with a couple other communities that are all about resourcing as well and finding more opportunities for people to get involved. So that's been great. Something I want to mention though that I want to hit on that you mentioned is about speculation. There's an innate aspect of speculation across Web3 because it's the engagement is directly tied in to some sort of monetary value. Ownership begets speculation. Like that's just going to happen. However, within our community, especially, we're not seeing anyone flipping their Sky Club NFTs. They're holding strong. And we also recognize that we can't expect 100% of everyone's time all the time. There are some people who step up and for a few weeks or a few months are super involved, but then work gets busy and they have to jump in. Life gets busy. They need to do other things. And that's perfectly fine. Having the flexibility and recognizing the flexibility of building a community and what it takes to do that with people who have lives to live. We're very aware of that. And we try not to impede on that in any way. So there's a bit of speculation throughout any community where you start to tie in any type of monetary value. However, if you understand that, you don't try to fight speculation, but you actually work with it, you can find some great people to build with and realize that speculation drives markets, and there's going to need to be a bit of that in order to power the entire ecosystem.
Right. It's not all bad, right?
Yeah.
It's only when it leads to euphoria and
that's right.
500x returns. Maybe there's something we need to consider in terms of real value delivered versus speculative value, right? Like maybe the multiples need to contract, if you will.